Shalom. To start this lesson, I want to begin by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to sincere brothers pushing his truth and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth diligently. And also shalom to a few sisters that listen and believe as well. Shalom to you all. And once again, all praises and glory be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Quadash. This is the brother Webun Lawyer from the GMS Miami, the Heralds of Yahweh Shai camp, and also from the GMS Southwest Florida camp out here in the Fort Myers area. And I come back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, to edify the elect, my fellow brothers, Lord, will not be a part of the elect, and also to edify the rest of the believers out there as well. And what I want to go into in this lesson, as you can see by the title, are you reading Slakia? Are you reading the studies? Are you reading the stories? That's the title. All right. Are you reading the stories? And this is the question that I'm asking to you young brothers. Are you brothers that are fresh in this truth? All right. Fairly new. Okay. Whether it be you came in a couple months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. All right. You're still a young brother. And the question that I'm asking to you is, are you reading the stories? Okay? Are you taking your time out to read the stories? Read what was written a fourth time. Read what was written a fourth time. You know, it was written for our learning. Are you reading these things that were written, all right, in time past, before? Are you reading them? Are you reading the things that are for our learning and to give us comfort? Are you reading the story about the different renowned men and women, the valiant men of faith, men of renown? Are you reading these stories? Are you reading the stories about men that exercised their faith, their fear in the Lord? All right, men that were, going through hell but still remained faithful to the Lord, and so on and so forth. Are you reading these stories? Are you reading the stories that help our faith and help us be rooted, help us begin? Are you reading the stories that are the beginning, all right, and that foundation, all right, the beginning of that you being rooted? Are you reading Are you reading the stories that help you? Are you reading the stories, these different books that are in the scriptures? Are you reading them? Are you reading them? That's just the question. Are you reading them? Are you taking time out to read them and get understanding? Because these stories are not just here in the scriptures to be pretty and that's it. No, these stories are here for us to read them, and they're supposed to boost our faith and give us comfort and actually help us, okay? Help us in our lives in this truth, man. Because a lot of these stories that are written in the scriptures, the hell that men were going through and different things, we can relate to. All right, we done went through it before. We're going through it, and there's certain things we're gonna go through in the future. So these stories are here to give us comfort, and also they're here to be our stability. You know how the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that times. These stories will keep us stable in the times to come. And these stories keep us stable now. You may be going through different things. All right. People hating you, people coming up against you. All right. And so on and so forth. And these stories, you may be going through different things. And these stories are supposed to come to your mind to give you comfort, to show you that, yes, you're not the only one that went through this. Men of old went through this, and the Lord was with them. The Lord kept them, and so on and so forth. So for you brothers, that are just coming into this truth, you young brothers out here, man, do not neglect and despise the stories, man. Get these stories. I understand, the breakdowns. You got to, be occupied in prophecy. You got to know the prophecies and so on and so forth. But you need a foundation, man. The scriptures say desire the sincere milk. What is the sincere milk? These stories, man. These stories, man, starting from the book of Genesis. Okay? Read. Read about your forefathers, your foremothers. Read about different men of the Lord that was going through hell, that was being afflicted, but they trusted in the Lord. Read about different men of the Lord that their back was against the wall, but the Lord came through for them. All right? Men were sojourning and so on and so forth. Lord keeping them. These stories give us hope. These stories boost us up. And, you know, once again, this is a lesson for us young. It's for us young brothers, because I'm a young brother myself. Okay? I've been in this truth for the amount of years I've been in this truth, but I'm still a young brother. I still am. Okay? And these stories ain't only for young brothers to read. It's for young brothers coming in. Yeah, first and foremost for y'all. But these stories continue forevermore. These stories that I'm speaking about that you can read throughout the scriptures, even our apostles and our elders, they go into these stories. They quote these stories. These stories are the foundation. That's the foundation, man. Okay? And by you getting these stories and you getting the understanding, you reading and you understand what's going on, you're gonna grow thereby. Okay? Let's get into these scriptures, man. I ain't gonna keep talking. This is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 14. Romans 15 and 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." So what was written aforetime was written for our learning. The Lord understood and knew that we would be back on the earth in these times, in our lots, whether it be you a prophet, you a help, whatever. And the Lord understood that we will be going through hell, or we will be going through different things. That's why the Lord had these things be written, these stories. So when we going through different hells and we're going through different afflictions, we're being tried by the Lord. The fiery trials will start to try you. We can meditate and think upon the stories. These stories are here to give us comfort and give us hope. All right? Help us with patience. Help us to endure. Understand that, okay, you may need to bear a situation for X, Y, and Z time. Because you see certain men in scriptures had to go through it. The Lord ain't delivered them right there and then. But the Lord did not forsake them, though. Just because he ain't delivered them right there and then don't mean he forsook them. I know I'm going through this tribulation, this hell. I know the Lord, I'm praying to the Lord. It don't look like the Lord's making a move to my carnal eyes. It don't look like the Lord's making a move yet. But I know the Lord ain't going to forsake me. I know the Lord with me because I serve him. And your mindset and your spirit, the way you able to move like that is because you read those stories. It's because for you to move like that and have a mindset like that, you have to be reading the stories. Okay? We go through our different afflictions, our different hells, tribulations, and so on and so forth. But when we go through them, we have to think upon the scriptures. We have to think upon the stories. Think upon these different men and women that went through what they went through, but served the Lord and kept the faith. All right? And they even thought upon the scriptures. Okay? Yahweh Shai, he thought upon the scriptures. Other men in the scriptures, they thought upon the scriptures, man. They quoted, men of the Lord quoted the scriptures. All right, quoted scriptures when you read the scriptures, man. Okay? They quoted different things. These scriptures, these stories give us comfort, man. Okay? They give us comfort. Once again, it says, verse 4, "Whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." All right? Through patience and comfort of the scriptures. Look, we see what men and women went through in the scriptures. And by reading it, it gives us comfort because we're going through similar things. There's no new thing under the sun, like the scriptures say. We have comfort. Our patience is constantly being grown. It's constantly becoming more and more fortified, more and more solid, I should say. That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. These scriptures give us hope, which hope goes into expectation. We read these different scriptures, we read these different stories, and you see how the Lord delivered men, and the Lord, he be with men and these different women, and it just makes us, it increases our belief and our expectation. Like, man, the Lord with them because they served him. We serve the Lord gonna be with us. And guess what? The Lord come through for you. Now your faith being boosted even more. This is a beautiful thing, man. This is a very beautiful thing. Next scripture, Micah chapter 12, verse 9. Get right to the point. Therefore, we also, albeit we need none of these books, that we have the holy books of scripture in our hands to comfort us, which we do, man. We have the holy books of scriptures, man. We have the Bible in our hands. Shit, I'm using my phone right now to read the Bible. We got physical Bibles. We got electronic Bibles. All right, on these apps. Okay, holy books of scripture in our hands to comfort us. So these scriptures, these stories, and I'm really speaking about these stories, they're here to comfort us. And once again, you'll see different men in the scriptures quote prophets. Okay, quote prophets. You'll read things in the New Testament. All right, quoting and summarizing stories from the Old Testament. Okay. And they're bringing it out to boost your faith, to give you confidence, to give you comfort. A good chapter to read is Hebrews 11. That's a whole chapter going into men and women that had faith in the Lord, and the Lord was with them. Okay? And shout out to beloved brother Ira. Man, there was a point in time a few years back, probably like what? Shit, man. How many years? Probably like, damn. I'll say probably like 6, 7, probably like 6, 7, 5, 6, 7 years ago, probably 8 years ago. I remember me and the brother, probably like 7. I'll lean towards 7, but it could be 8. Something around that time, brothers. All right, around the range of like 5 to 8. I remember me and the brother, we went through Hebrews 11, and we took time out to actually read the book of Hebrews 11, and every time where it says by faith this individual, that individual, we took time out to read the chapters, man, together, and it boosted our faith. We was charged. We received comfort, and that's a good thing, and that's something that I should suggest to you brothers to do. Read Hebrews 11. It's a chapter about faith, man, men and women that had faith. And from reading that chapter, go find those individual stories about those different men and women that had faith in the Lord, man. And go read it so it can boost your faith and give you comfort, man. Okay? 1 Maccabees 12 and 9 again. Therefore, we also, albeit we need none of those things that ye... Slakia, let me read that again. Therefore, we also, howbeit, we need none of these things, that we have the holy books of scripture in our hands to comfort us. Once again, we have the Bible to comfort us, and the Bible is full of beautiful stories and scriptures that comfort us and build our faith, all right, and build our hope, our expectation in the Lord. That what? What is our expectation? That the Lord's going to be with us no matter what we go through. Because we see it in the scriptures of men and women that believed in the Lord, and he was with them. Those that called upon his name, he was with them. Those that feared him were not forsaken nor despised. Sirach 2 and 10, which Lord, when I can read that. Which, matter of fact, let me just get that now. There's a book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see. And how you gonna be able to look at the generations of old? How you gonna look at? How you gonna look at? How you gonna like the scriptures say, seek the ancient paths. All right. How you gonna be able to seek the ancient paths and look at the generations of old? All right. Look at what was written the fourth time if you ain't reading, man. Look at the generations of old and see that ever any trust in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And the answer is, if you trust in the Lord, you are not confounded. All right. If you abided in his fear, you are not forsaken. And if you called upon the Lord's name, you are not despised, man. Okay? And you see that. That's why I said look at the generations of old. You have to go into the scriptures. You have to go into the scriptures. You have to go read. You have to read the stories. So you can understand what this scripture is really talking about. Because you can read a scripture, but if you don't really understand it, what's the benefit of it? All right? It's deeper than just reading and saying, Khan. No, actually understand what's being said, what is written. And for this case, look at the generations of old. If you ain't reading the scriptures, you ain't reading these stories, you're not really going to understand this. You're not. Showing you what? You got to dig in. You got to eat. You got to eat. You got to actually see that those that trust in the Lord was not confounded. Those that fear the Lord was not forsaken. Those that called upon the Lord were not despised. You got to actually go see that for yourself. So when you're put in a situation, you can know that, hey, the Lord was with these men, these women. Hey, the Lord gonna be with me. In my situation that I'm in, let me think upon this man and that woman, because they went through something similar to what I'm going through. Let me think upon them. How did they react? How did they move? What did they do? So I may apply it myself. First Peter 2:2, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So you gotta desire the sincere milk. And the sincere milk is these stories, that ye may grow thereby. How the hell you gonna grow if you ain't reading the stories? You just starting off your walk with just prophecies and dark sands and history and deep history. Not even deep history, you just history in itself. Okay? You gotta have a foundation. You gotta start from the bottom and work yourself up, man. Get these stories, and over time, the Lord gonna continue to water you, and then you're gonna go up. Then you're going to increase. You can't just start with the meat. Jake be wanting to get the meat, the history, and the deep history, the dark sands, and all that. Slow your roll, man. Second Ezra's 11, Second Ezra's 11, what I believe is 11 and 12. Jake be trying to get it, the feathers. Slow your damn roll, man. You only been in this truth for what? 5 months? A year, 2 years, 3 years? Slow your damn roll. The race is not given to the swift, like the scriptures say. Read these stories, man. And I'm going to keep saying that throughout this lesson. Read these stories. These stories help you grow. 1 Peter 2:2 again. It says, as newborn babes, desiring the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. Get this word, man. Read these stories. By you doing it, you're going to grow thereby. The Lord going to sup with you more. The Lord going to deal with you more. Okay? Slakia. Isaiah 34:16. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. So you got to seek out the book, man. Seek out the book of the Lord, which is the Bible, and read. You got to read these scriptures and read with understanding. All right? Read with understanding. Understand what you're reading. That's why the scriptures say precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. You got to jump around in this book. You can't just read this Bible straight through because you ain't going to understand. You're not going to understand what you're reading. You got to jump around. Okay? You got to jump around. You got to see what's going on here. You got to see what's going on there. You got to read this story. You got to read that story. You know? Got to read this. Got to read that. Okay? Like I said, I mentioned Hebrews 11. You got to read. That's a good chapter to read. But hey, from reading that chapter, you're going to need to jump around. You're going to need to jump around. You're going to need to find this story here. You're going to find a story there. You're going to find a story here. But then later on, it's going to say something. It's going to say something pertaining to the story you already read. This book is like, this Bible is a big puzzle, and we putting it together. Okay? Once again, verse 16 from the top. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. So get in the scriptures and read with understanding. You can't just read a precept and just say, Khan, I get it. That precept may have a story attached to it. Go find a story and go read it. So you can actually understand what the scripture is speaking about. All right? In depth, man. No one of these shall fail, none of them shall want her mate. For my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them. And the point being I really want to speak on, which I did, is once again, seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. Read. Jake be afraid of reading. Reading ain't going to kill you, man. Read. Read. A lot of us brothers coming into the shoe, I can speak for myself. But you hear it from time to time in brothers' videos. A lot of us ain't want to read. A lot of us ain't grow up liking to read. Jake don't really be liking to sit there and read all the time. Jake be thinking this is a curse or something. You know, it's something scary to read. I can speak for myself. Prior to this truth, I ain't like to read. I didn't. My early stages of the truth, I had to get into it. I had to start getting into it because I ain't like to read. Once again, I'm coming from the world. I ain't like to read. But then as you get into it and the spirit starts dealing with you more, you realize that this shit is not bad. Not shit, Salakia. But you brothers understand what I'm saying. It's not that bad. Reading is actually fun. It's actually fun to read. And it's like the scriptures is beautiful. You able to jump around and put the puzzle together. That's what makes it even more fun, man. Okay? It's great, man. It's great. Jay be afraid when they hear reading because we was raised in this world. Esau, when it comes to reading and studying, Esau make it seem like you gotta sit at the table for 2-3 hours, cramping up information in your brain till your brain starts hurting. That's why Jay be afraid of studying and reading. Whole time you can set up your own time of studying, your own portion of time. Certain brothers can study and read for 15 minutes. Certain brothers can read a whole chapter and meditate upon that chapter. Certain brothers can read a half a chapter and have to let that digest and let that marinate in their mind. Then later on, before they go to sleep or the next day, they continue the rest of the chapter. Whatever works for you. The scriptures talk about our several ability. Not everybody gonna be on the same level, man. Do what fits you. Do what works for you, man. Okay? When it comes to reading and studying. Do what works for you. No, don't neglect it. Find what works for you and do it, man. And I'm talking to myself first and foremost. Okay? Studying and reading, that's slacking for saying shit. It's beautiful. That stuff is beautiful. It's fun. And especially because we in the spirit and we got the spirit upon the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh. The spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai upon us, that's what makes it even more fun. Because if you dwell in the secret place, which are the scriptures, the Lord going to be there. He going to sup with you. He going to pour out wisdom upon you. And hey, man, don't let you start reading and studying with a brother or two. Hey, there Yahweh Shai and the angels are in the midst. Like it says in the book of Matthew 18 and 20. When 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst. So don't let 2 or 3 brothers link up and y'all start reading and studying. That's going to make it even extra fun. Let's close it out. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 3. And it says, Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Point is, blessed is he that readeth. And when you go into that word readeth in the BLB, which I can't pull it up right now, which matter of fact, let me try to. Revelation 1 and 3. I'm going to read it again one more time. Revelation 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. It says, blessed is he that readeth, right? Let's get that word readeth. It says to distinguish between, all right, to recognize, to know accurately, to acknowledge, to read. So like I've been saying in this lesson, throughout this lesson, you can't just read to read. You have to read to receive understanding. You have to read and receive understanding. This book ain't just a book that you just read straight through. No. In this book, you're going to need to jump around. You're going to need to go story to story. You're going to need to go this place to that place. You're going to need to go to this chapter to that chapter. You're going to need to go to this precept that's in the New Testament to a story or a precept or a few verses about an individual that's spoken about in the book of Numbers or something. So you can really get to understand him, man. Blessed he that readeth, aka one that can distinguish between, to recognize, to know accurately, to acknowledge. You got jakes that will just read through, and then you ask them questions. I don't know. Are they stumbling? Because you're just reading through. You're not taking your time. You're not letting things actually marinate and stick in your brain. You just reading just so you say, "Con, I read today." Or I knocked out a chapter. The Lord is pleased. Then when it's time for elder brothers asking you questions and, time to elaborate and so on and so forth, you can't speak. Because you did not take time out to actually dig. You did not take time out to actually dissect this thing. You did not take time out to actually let the food digest, man. Because this truth is food. This word is food, man. It's food. It's likened unto food. It's likened unto bread, honey. It's likened unto water as well. Gotta let things digest. Gotta meditate. Psalms, the first chapter says, he that meditative upon the law day and night. Sometimes you got to meditate upon, law. It's talk about a law, which the law is found in scriptures. All right. Scriptures is a book full of laws and commandments and statutes. Hey, it's a good thing to meditate day and night upon the word of the Lord. Take your time out and meditate. Take it slow. Like I quoted once again, like it says in the book of Ecclesiastes, the race is not given to the swift. Take your time, man. Make sure you understand what's going on. Make sure you understand what you're reading. Because we can't just be out there on the highways and byways being parrots. All right? Some of you young brothers that are freshly new, some of you are prophets. You have been ordained to be prophets by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You can't just be out there being a parrot all your life. You got to get this understanding for yourself. That's why our apostles, starting with our apostles on down, us brothers, we often push. All right, you hear from the apostles on down, and you hear from brothers as well. We often push what? Don't believe what we saying. Go look it up yourself for you young brothers. So you can be fully persuaded. So you can be fully persuaded. So you can have the understanding yourself, man. That's another thing. The scriptures talk about being fully persuaded. How you gonna be fully persuaded if you ain't reading the stories and you ain't locking in, bro? Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. Whether it be you lock in by yourself or you lock in with a body of men. Either way, it's gonna work. Whatever works better for you. But the point is, lock in. All right? Read these stories. Get into these stories. Read them. Read them, man. The Bible is a book full of stories. It's starting with Genesis all the way down to Revelation. It's a book full of stories of men and women going through different things. Men and women going through different afflictions. Men and women being delivered. Men and women glorifying the name of the Lord. Men and women going through X, Y, and Z. It's nothing that any of us is going through right now that is not written in the scriptures. That a man and woman did not go through in the scriptures. They may not have went through the exact thing, but they went through something very similar or something even worse. The Lord ain't going to give us nothing we can't handle, and the Lord ain't going to give us something that you can't go find in the scriptures, bro. Okay? Whether it be a story or a precept. All right? But you got to dig in to know that. You can't just take my word for it. You can't just take the elders, the apostles and elders and the elder officers and bishops and deacons' word for it. You got to go look for it yourself, man. All right? Got to go look for it yourself. And this, once again, is a message for us young brothers, man. All right? A message through the Spirit for us young brothers, because I'm young as well. I can't talk like I'm the top guy, because I ain't. Okay? This is for us. And whoever, it's for the young brothers. It's for us young brothers. And whoever come across this lesson, young brother, whatever. All right? The milk, the point is, I'm trying to make right now through the Spirit, is these stories is for us young brothers, but it's for all of us as a whole. We all got to get to it. It's times that you hear the apostles say, man, I gotta go read this chapter again. I got to go do this again. I got to go revisit this. These different stories. Because we forget things. That's why the scriptures talk about, study show thyself approved. A workman ought not to be ashamed, roughly paraphrasing. Or butchering it. Got to study to show ourselves approved. We got to get in this book. Our apostles speak about certain stories. They got to go over. They got to go back and read certain stories. They got to go refresh their memory on it. We forget things. We in the flesh. Constantly watching videos, constantly reading different things, constantly reading articles, and got to meditate on different scriptures and so on and so forth. We forget things. We in this flesh, man. But that's no excuse. There's no excuse. Always go back to the foundation. And that's what keeps us whole. Can't forget about the foundation. You can't forget where you came from. Jake always talking about, hey, man, I ain't never going to forget where I came from. You can't forget where you came from, which was these stories, man. Your foundation. Okay? Got to, man. Hey, so I ain't going to keep speaking. Low on this lesson was edifying. I'm going to end up by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone and salutation to sincere brothers pushing his truth and all truth and sincerity. Pushing his truth and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth diligently. And also shalom to a few sisters that listen and believe as well. Shalom to you.